So it's not a G Morning Show. We got the pleasure to sit down with Bob Meyers.
Yes.
Say your title. I was going to read it off the
no
paper.
Problem. It's President of Basketball Operations
There you
and
go.
General Manager, but it doesn't matter.
Basically, the reason why we have all these fantastic
Right.
players here.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, you did a wonderful job in free agency, man. How was the whole thing in acquiring D'Lo and making sure the team
Yeah,
was still
Joe was
whole?
just talking about that.
That was, I mean, I think free agency happened fast for us because the whole league, I mean, if you watch some of these other sports, free agency, baseball drags on, something like that. Football goes a little slower, but it felt like the whole league was trying to get their business done that night.
Yeah.
And so when Kevin left, the idea for us was, because it's a little different than people think. That didn't just clear up $30 million in space.
Right.
I don't expect you to understand the cap and all the
numbers,
the
yeah.
numbers,
Yeah.
and nuances. It's people would turn off the radio. But it gave us an opportunity to see if we could do anything with it, and so we ended up doing the sign and trade with D'Angelo, and he's a good. You'll have him on at some point, I hope.
Yeah.
Exciting. Gives us another score. A young player, hard to get young players, and. And we went from there. We went from one of the oldest teams to one of the youngest teams, but kept Steph, Clay, and Draymond, and Kavon, who I don't know if you had him on. But
Not yet. He's going to be on.
Trying to get him over here,
try
man.
to get him over
He's working around. He's working around.
He's one of our original four. I mean, funny, I was talking to Steph the other day. Steph's the oldest guy on the team.
Is he?
Really?
Crazy? Yeah.
Wow.
How about that?
He doesn't operate like that,
Right?
though.
I hope not. We can't have him acting like the old.
No,
we need him to produce.
Yeah, we need to keep
But no,
playing.
we made a lot of changes, but a lot of new, and your guys are sitting in a pretty new place too.
Amazing.
So maybe a good time for a pivot, but still a lot of familiar faces.
Yeah.
So when the KD thing happened, right, and you got super emotional, you're so close to the players, aren't you?
Yeah.
Like, you were one of the people when all the fans and everybody was like, KD's this and KD's that, and I can't believe he's this and that, and he went out there and he still played his heart, man, and he gave what he had, and you just got really emotional when you got up for that press conference. So you're probably tight with all of them like that, huh?
You have to be. I mean, you guys go to work every day. You see people.
Well, I don't like him, but
Well, no, I
can't
understand
stand
that. I get that. But, I mean, other people at work that you
I'm just
like.
kidding. I'm kidding.
There's a couple.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Somebody.
I understand this, but no. So I think after that happened, the interesting thing to me was the reaction of people that I didn't know around that said, "Hey, it was nice to see kind of the human side of things."
Absolutely.
And I was sitting there thinking, what do people think it is? But I guess in sports, maybe we don't show enough of that.
we see it from the players, but
not from people around it. Yeah,
not
maybe
so
you're
much.
right. Yeah, because but the people around it, and maybe I am assuming people understand that, but obviously they didn't, and that's okay. It's like people behind you guys. I mean, they don't see, but you see what the producers do. You see what everybody that is behind to help you do, and you see those relationships form. And so for me, and not just me, there's trainers, there's coaches, there's people that are with this traveling kind of party all the time.
Yeah.
And I used to sit with Kevin all the time, flying back, talk about life, things like that. And the hardest thing about that was, like you said, to hear him portrayed a certain way.
it was horrible.
Yeah, and it's hard because you can't just stand up and defend somebody at every turn.
Right.
That doesn't look great either. But in that moment, I was just pretty raw, and I was just like, hey, I'm kind of beaten here, and I'm just gonna. That's not a time where you kind of pull out a statement. I just felt like I'm just gonna. I was struggling to even get up there, but it's people, right? You guys, that's what this is about. It's just people you work with.
That's what we would hope to see, but a lot of the times, like you said, people think it's mechanical, and that's exactly why KD got the rap that he got, because people only wanted to see one side of him, and his mom and you and everybody stepped forward. Were like, yo, this is a good dude.
Yeah.
So,
and that's I think that's why people connect with athletes, or try to even more so now, is that's part of what the fan wants, is a relationship, right? And it's not going to be the same as working with them every day, but they want to know who these guys are. They want to know more. When I grew up, we didn't have access to stuff like that. I didn't know anybody. I just saw it turn on the TV, and if I could watch the game, I'd see them play. But now you got guys doing their own documentaries and speaking on issues.
Right.
And when I was over at San Quentin, I was listening to, this is about a year ago, and some of the 49er guys were there. They're talking about some of the Kaepernick stuff. And somebody said he was speaking to a group of kids, and they said, if you could be any one of these people, who would you be? And he named Barack Obama, Steph Curry, and LeBron James. And all the hands went up for either Steph or LeBron James.
Yeah.
These are kids.
Yeah.
The point of saying that is these are the people the kids are looking up to.
Yeah.
Right.
So what do you do with that, right? It's not just go out and shoot three-pointers. I mean, it's a responsibility. How you choose to use it is your own.
Exactly.
But with the importance of people wanting to know, I want to know this person beyond that. And that's why I think we're so lucky to have a guy like Steph as kind of the ambassador in the community, to see the things he does, see the things his wife and family does, his entire family. We appreciate things like that. Obviously, we appreciate what he does what he's going to do on the floor you guys are sitting on. But beyond that, especially for us, it's nice to see the human being side of things.
Yeah, because he's that guy that you don't think he does it for the look.
Right.
He does it because he makes good relationships. Like, he just had a basketball backpack giveaway he did, and they were surprised he came out. Just him and Aisha.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
They just went out there to hang out with the community.
Yeah.
You said something about Cap a second ago. How do you feel about that situation with him and Jay-Z
it's funny because
entering the NFL?
I don't know that business. I know the NBA. I don't know the NFL. And the position we've always operated from is we want to win. And if somebody can help us win, they can play for us.
Right.
Without knowing anything else, that's just the place. I think that's like any job. Like, if you're qualified, and I don't care what you look like, come work. If you can help me make a better product or help my company move forward, come on. That's how we move through our business.
Yeah.
But again, I don't know. I mean, I hope, if the guy wants to play football, I hope at some point he gets a chance, like you guys and me. If I want to work at something, I hope I get a chance to do it.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, for us, we're lucky, man. Bay Area is a pretty good community.
It is.
Absolutely.
I mean, I love going to our games. I got people of all different races and backgrounds sitting next to me and around my young daughters. And I go to some other cities and it's homogenous. It's the same. Everybody looks the same. And I love this community. How it's. I live in San Francisco. I mean, is all kinds of. It's exciting living in a place like this.
Yeah, just very diverse. And also, just big up to even Steve Kerr and, Steph and Draymond and all the other players on the team who were in support of, Kaepernick and what he was fighting for and everything. So, I mean, you guys have been very outspoken, even just in the way that you've supported the whole situation.
Absolutely.
And he came, he was at one of our games, I think in Portland or something like that.
Cap.
Yeah, he was there. Everybody said what's up to him.
Yeah.
Seems like a nice, I don't know him, but he seems like he used to come to our games. He came to some games at Oracle.
Yeah.
He was playing for the 49ers.
He's a good dude. And he's a good football player.
Yeah, right.
I'm just hoping that Jay-Z entering into ownership for the NFL is going to hopefully squash that whole situation. We'll see what happens with it. My producer wanted me to ask you, did you get nervous watching Steph play pickup ball?
I know somebody else asked me that. I'm nervous when he wakes up in the morning.
Right. Don't step on the ground wrong.
I know it's tough, but y'all, we got to live our lives, and part of him doing that stuff is part of who he is. You can't take that away from him.
Right.
And you can get hurt doing anything. But yeah, I always get nervous. He's a veteran now, though. He's our oldest player, like I said. You gotta trust him a little bit. Let him do what he needs to do.
Yeah. Now, Bob, I did ask Rick Welts the same question. I'm gonna throw it to you. Do we have a prediction for W's this year?
Don't do that. He keeps asking
what did Rick
people.
say?
He wants numbers.
Rick said nothing. Rick gave you
He's
nothing.
a smart man.
You
for that
asked
answer.
Joe probably would have given you something.
I didn't ask, though. I want Joe to adopt me, so I didn't want to, get on
Somebody
his
else
bad
was trying
side.
to go for that, too.
That's just debt. You're
Yeah,
not.
so I don't. The prediction thing isn't good. I'm not trying to
Ever. Don't do it.
It's just not good.
Don't
You know
say
why?
anything.
You know why? Because last year, when the year we won 73 games, we were supposed to win the championship. No, for me, I need that energy for something else.
I got
Right.
you.
Me predicting something, I gotta save it.
We're going to play hard. We're going to stay healthy. We're going to win games.
Yeah,
That's what we're going to do.
Yeah, it's a journey, right? So it's
I
good.
appreciate you, Bob.
Yeah,
You've got to
thank you.
run.
All right, appreciate
Thank
it.
you so
Thank you
much
for
for
having
coming
me on.
on.